Hi guys, welcome back to Flipping Motors UK. So, fresh start of the week, sold the capture over the weekend, got a few cars in for preparation, a few nearly done, lots going on, decent month, plenty of profit, less cars, but if the profit's still there, doesn't really matter, does it? As long as you're buying right. Today I'm off down to Nottingham again. I'm going to start going to Ryan Clough, aren't I? But yeah, down to Nottingham again, this time Toyota Yaris. Surely that can't go wrong, can it? Let's find out. The Chesterfield station now, just waiting for the adjoining train. Look who I've just bumped into. It's Dave from the lovely car company in Chesterfield. Nice to see him. Had a bit of crap with him before he got on his train. But yeah, off for the next train now to Nottingham. Looking forward to this one. Can I just say that day didn't get much better after meeting Dave. So basically I left my phone in the back of the black cab in Nottingham. Obviously the council run, it's not from a particular company, so we had no way of getting it back. Obviously couldn't get home, I needed me sat nav. I couldn't let anyone know. And they said, the guy at BCA initially said, oh, why don't you drive to where you... I was like, I don't know where it is, I don't know Nottingham, I'm from 3 hours away. So that was an absolute disaster. Luckily the taxi driver rang up BCA and brought the phone back for me, which was absolutely fantastic. But anyway, enough of my absolute disaster of a day. Let's show you the Yaris. Now, I thought I'd jinxed myself to start, because before I left, my girlfriend said, oh, make sure you're not... What was it? She said something about, oh, well, if you break down, you'll be too late, like, leave me the key. And I think my response was, don't worry, it's a Toyota Yaris. Anyway, I was right. So, here it is. Of course, it made it back. What are we going to have to do on this car for preparation? Well, to be honest with you, very little, I think. There's a little bit of bodywork I'd like to get done. Not majorly, but let's have a little look. So, definitely needs a set of plates. They're a bit shabby, aren't they? This one is a trend edition, so it comes with, they're often in white. They've got like the white surrounds in the headlights. You get the 16-inch diamond cut alloy wheels. You get the chrome mirror caps, black window surrounds, rear boot spoiler, and inside you've got this questionable interior with the white panels on the seats. We need a good clean like. And then you've also got the white panels on the doors, dashboard, gear knob, that's asking to get filthy, and also the steering wheel as well. This one's got cruise control. I can't remember from my Toyota days if that was standard or not on these. But same as the standard TR model, it comes with electric mirrors, reversing camera, climate control. However, this one, it does have auto lights and wipers as well, which is a nice touch. Anyway, so, offside front tyre, we've got about 5.5 to 6 millimetres remaining. Front discs seem okay. Slightly towards the end of a life and the start, and I'm going to show you why I'm thinking of just replacing these anyway by popping the bonnet. So when I got in the car, it had a traction control warning light on and the handbrake light wouldn't go off. If a handbrake light doesn't often go off, that normally means one thing: there's something brake fluid related. It's a Toyota, everything's all good, it looks like it's recently serviced, but there's no evidence, so I'm going to be doing a full service anyway, including pollen filter, because it smells of smoke. I haven't had one of them a while, which is a shame. The brake fluid was just a tiny bit low. Whether it's had a brake fluid at some point, because it did actually look quite clean, but it was just a tiny bit too low, so causing these panicking warning lights for most people without the know, an exclamation mark and traction control. Initially, I was thinking, oh, I hope it's just the traction control switched off or something, but it wasn't. Anyway, I literally topped up the brake fluid, all the warning lights are off. The car drove fine. Anyway, it's just a tiny bit down. So, I'm on to a winner. As you can imagine, I'm not going to bore you to death. It's a Toyota. It stops, starts, drives, to be fair, without fault. I'm thinking about doing them brakes anyway, just in case. I can't see the inner pads. The outer ones are only about half worn, but there you go, you can see that light's working now. I'll probably get that sorted anyway. It's just peace of mind, isn't it? It stops any silly little comebacks with brakes or caliper sticking or anything, and you know then they've all been cleaned and greased. I'm going to have to do the same with the rear. It's not bad, but it's just not holding that well. You need them extra few clicks, and without being disrespectful, Toyotas are often driven by older people, so I mean, they're not going to put a yank a handbrake on every time, so I'm going to give the rear brakes a service as well. Something we used to do on a 20k or 20k or 2-year service at Toyota. All electric windows, that's another extra for the trend model. Quite a nice spec, to be fair. Like I say, the white's a bit questionable, but it's alright. As it signs, it has been a smoker's car. We'll see if we can either get that repaired or get it looking better. It's not the worst, like the strongest smell I've ever had in a car, but it's not very nice, so we'll be trying all sorts to try and get rid of that. These get these nice LED rear lights as well, again with a white surrounds, accompanied by a nice bumper scuff. So we'll see about getting that touched in, bumper corner done, whatever. Back tyre, we've got about 6mm on that one. Rear drums we will be cleaning out. And see if the number plates would benefit from a new set. Good size boot on the Yarises. Fairly tidy. That's my collections bag. Got a spare wheel under there as well. Good selling point. People like that. A couple of more little touch-ins on that side, really. There's a touch-in that will just polish out, I think, to be fair. We can get that looking better though. Near side rear tyre, again about 6mm on there. Drums on the rear. Wheels aren't in too bad condition. There is a bit of surface corrosion, but on a 14 plate with 120k, how far do you go? It's pretty boring watching videos of these, I guess, isn't it? Because they just don't really go wrong. Honestly, if you're looking for a small car, you won't find a better car than a Yaris. The clutches and that take some getting used to. Obviously, they were the first cars I drove, so I'm quite familiar with them. But a lot of people do take time to get used to them. You don't get much feel off the pedal. But honestly, if you want something reliable, fairly stylish, spacious, well equipped, you won't do it any better than a Yaris. And I mean, you're beefing it, that's a nice thing. Got a Fiesta in for a bit of prep at the moment, but honestly, the Yaris you will not beat. This tyre I think I'm getting done, so it's worn off on the edge a little bit. A little bit of a chunk there. There's obviously no cords are out, but I think it would be nice just to get a new one on there for what it'll cost. Tread's about 3mm, but I'd rather just get that done. The more I look at them discs, they're not bad. I think I'll just do them anyway, just to save any comeback. And we know it's good then. Obviously, as I said, I'm doing a full service as well. Fog lights on this one as well, that's good. I think it's quite a stylish little car, isn't it? Ideal for someone. Like you say, with Toyota reliability, the clutch feels really new actually, so I don't know if it's had one at some point. Like you say, there's not really any history with it, which is a shame, but I think all cleaned up, full service. Obviously put the tyre on, front discs and pads. I'll get it up in the air, or well, I don't know if I'm going to have a look myself, make sure everything's all alright, or potentially take it to a garage. But I can't say it needed much. There's not a single knock or anything from the suspension. It's fantastic. We have got that little bit of bodywork I wanted to sort, and I'm sure one of the wings had a slight dint in it as well. Yeah, look at that there. So I need to get bald Paul out to get that sorted. Feel that'll be fine. But yeah, I think we're on to a winner here. Start having a little look underneath it, and hopefully there's no horror stories. But like I say, Toyota Yaris, honestly, you will not find a better car. And do you know what I like about them as well? I mean, obviously by the time I'd finished stressing about my phone and was on my way, it was getting on a bit, so I was in a bit of a rush. Let's just say it's sat a little bit above the speed limit very, very comfortably. And no matter what I did, I could not get this car, the average miles per gallon on the trip back, to go under 50. I think average was 50 and a half or something like that. And I mean, I wasn't driving ridiculous, but it was going some speed and overtaking everything, let's just say. Once I eventually got the MG hybrid thing, it was in the outside lane to move, about 10 miles down the road. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you like your Yaris? Because I can't praise them enough. And I tell you what as well, naturally aspirated engine, little 1.3,
think they're only about 95, 98 horsepower, something like that. If you're a good driver, you can absolutely, I can't explain it, for like, they just want to be thrashed about everywhere and they won't go wrong. Like, you can, you know, it doesn't mind it in the red line. Most cars will just get to the red line and just give up. These just, they've still got hard-cut limiter on these. But yeah, honestly, if you want a small car you can drive, they're great. Like, yeah, the handling's a bit vague and that, but I tell you what, you can have some fun in one of these. Honestly, I'm not just saying that. I think the Fiesta slightly pips it, but for the engines, these are absolutely fantastic. So, if you are looking for a small car, have a little look at a Yaris. Like I say, I did have a subscriber. I put a little post out looking for him. Regular commenter was after one of these. I believe that it was not in red, and she is quite picky. But I've since got in touch with him, so we'll see what his wife says. But also, we'll make a nice little car out of this. Yeah. What do you value it at? So I've paid 1,400 quid plus the fees. Just over 1,700. Got it back. Probably about 1,775 it owes me now. Maybe a little bit more. No, 1,775, that's right. Full service bits, which I'll do myself. A tyre, you might be 55 quid or something like that. Discs and pads, 60, 70 quid, I'll do them myself. Create myself lots of work, aren't I? I will get a little touching pen, get the dent man out. He's not expensive round here, just dents, he's fantastic. Very busy man though, so I'll have to get it done in his time. But yeah, really, really good car. It's good. Yeah, I think it's probably a smidgen over £3,000. I think for £3,000, if I could, I would. It would be a very, very easy profit and a very easy sale. Could potentially ask a little bit more, but like I say, if it doesn't need much preparation and I can make a decent chunk out of it still, I'm more than happy with that. And obviously, if any subscribers are interested in this car or any of the others, Brinkburn Motor Company, Darlington, Facebook and Instagram, feel free to give me a message. I've been thinking about making like a Facebook page for the channel, like a Flipping Motors one, to be fair. But I had a few issues with me business page, which isn't great, I know. And a few subscribers have tried to get in touch for things, and I think I've not been the best getting back in touch. So it'd be nice to maybe get one of them sorted as well. Push the channel a little bit. But yeah, let's get on and get this car prepared. So yeah, so just have a little look around this car. Jacked it up. I really don't think I need to do these brakes, but I'm going to anyway. Spring looks like it's been replaced. The drop link definitely doesn't have any play. That's spinning nice and freely. If you have a look there, it's actually had a new brake pipe at some point. So we'll see what all the others are like on the car. Maybe that's why the fluid was a bit low. Maybe it just hasn't been bled correctly. But like I say, the fluid did look quite new. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Let's have a look at the other other 3 corners. It's not a 5-wheeler. Looking around, you've got the back bush very slightly perished on the arm. Not enough to get any movement or anything. Looks all dry from any signs of oil leaks or anything. Engine's running good. Quite pleased with that. There's a tyre. Apart from that tiny bit on the edge, it's nowhere near as bad as I thought. There's at least 4mm on there, which is a shame. Having a little look underneath the arm, again, is alright. Might get the slightest movement on that. Brake pipe, you're starting to see signs of corrosion. This is the original one on this side. So what I'll probably do is I'll just clean that up. It's not pitted or anything. I'll clean it up and tidy it up with a bit of grease just to preserve it so the next owner's not having to put brake pipes on anytime soon. But yeah, again, looking underneath, all looks pretty good really, doesn't it? As you'd probably expect from a Toyota. Just notice this little chip on this side as well. There you go, so we'll probably have to get a bit more touching. The rear I won't have to jack up for now, but let's show you what's going on anyway. So, back shockers, again surface corrosion. Springs all good, but if you look here, I think we found our issue why the brake pipe's a little bit Well, while the brake fluid was a little bit low, so that needs looking at. I'll probably just get it into a garage for that, because it's more than likely, if it's not a brake pipe, it'll be the, what you call it, the little box between the shoes, you know what I mean? The word's totally gone from my mouth, but it's definitely going to need them looking at. And then on this side again, the suspension and that looks alright. I'll get him to check for brake pipes when it's up in the air, but it's all dry on that side, so we have got an issue over there. Okay, so that is going to need addressing, and we'll get it into the mechanic. It's quite scary that I drove this car back from Nottingham really, but what you'll find is when you take the drums off, the shoes actually, the brake shoes might be saturated, so we'll have to you know, potentially put a set of shoes on it as well. But we'll see what the mechanic says. I'll drop it off later because I've got a car to pick up, but I'm glad I've seen that now, and that's why you should always check your cars over rather than thinking, it drives alright. Just get it done. Get them, if you don't know what you're doing, get them checked over by someone, because that could have been dangerous, that, like. But we'll get it done. New set of shoes, and I've still forgot the name of it, but we'll get that sorted and make a nice little car out of it. I might do another video of the preparation of the car. You guys seem to like me being a little bit more hands-on, but there we go. So it just goes to show, if you bought that car off someone that, like, not from a garage, let's just say, you could have bought that car yourself, drove it home, thought, oh, it drives all right. They've probably topped the brake fluid up at some point. If that wheel cylinder, if that's a word, if a wheel cylinder had popped, you could be putting lives at risk there. Well, see, I have to get it back from the auctions and that somehow, and that isn't part of my checks. It might be from now on, but it just goes to show you need to be buying from someone reputable that gets the cars checked over and prepared to a very high standard. So, like I say, I was asking you if it's a good buy. We've discovered something that is going to need to be replaced, so we've got a full service, because we don't have proof of the last one, even though the oil was golden. We've got the rear brakes to sort. That's a wheel cylinder, a brake pipe, and potentially may end up needing brake shoes as well, or at least good thorough strip and clean. We'll see what the mechanic says, because I don't really like playing about with brake shoes, to be honest. I'll probably do some front discs and pads. Do we really need to? No, but there you go. And then that near side front tyre as well. On top of that, we're going to have to do a good thorough valet, set of number plates, because they were a bit grubby as well, and just make sure the car's tickety-boo underneath. I can't see it needing anything else, but I couldn't see it needing a wheel cylinder. But there you go. Just goes to show, always check your cars, and if you have got them fully prepared and they're about to be viewed, test driven, going out with a new customer, check them again, because if that happens to a customer there and they see it on the car they've just picked up, you've probably got a screamer on your hands, and will probably be throwing negative reviews at you, calling you every name under the sun. So I know a lot of garages do say, you know, like, oh, we thoroughly prepare our cars for customers. You know, I get it. Sometimes you can't stop things from happening, but that just goes to show, always double check your work. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Goodbye, bad bye. Let me know in the comments. As always, if you are interested in any of the cars, like I say, Brinkburn Motor Company, Darlington. I do try and get back to you all. For some reason on YouTube, my notifications haven't been the best recently. So I was going through a few old videos yesterday, and I've noticed there's a few unresponded comments. So I do apologise for that. If you do need to get in touch with me for anything, like I say, you know me social media tags, and I'm thinking about making a page for you guys. One, to get in touch with me, and two, to see any content that may or may not be coming. Hopefully we'll just have a laugh, get some good posts out there. Anyway, I'll catch up with you guys on the next video. I'm thinking about doing a preparation one for that, so we'll see how we get on, and hope you guys all have a great week. Thanks now, take care, bye bye.